E te iwi tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou I roto I tēnei pō. Kia ora everybody, Che Wilson here from Te Pai Pai Waho, connecting to you tonight through a number of different platforms. Nā reire, me I kauatu ana ki koutou I roto I tēnei pō, kia ora tātou. E me I ana e tangi ana ki ngā mate, o tira e me I ana o ki tātou, te kaupapa tangata I roto I tēnei pō. So kia ora everybody. Episode 7, season 7 on 101 for MARAE 101. And today I'm going to talk about succession. And I'm going to try and put a PowerPoint up here too. Well, it's not a real PowerPoint, it's just one page. But just to emphasize some of the bits. But before I do, to all of those that have been moaning or complaining about my post on my personal page from this morning, I just had to share Johnny Nation's donuts and eclairs, etc., just because I was home and it was yum to see Johnny's open and to taste all of the yummy things. Well, I only had two things. My favorite, which is a raspberry bun, and I had a sponge drop. Everybody likes the donuts and the eclairs, which I'll eat as well. But hey, I thought I'd try, well, my favorite, but then also try a sponge drop. And then got a chance to go out onto our farm for our stock count as part of our annual audit. Hoi anō. E mihi ana kia koutou o tira ki tātou I tēnei pō. So succession. I don't think this is going to be a long kōrero, but what I wanted to do is, traditionally, I think this was how we did our succession. Traditionally, you'd start with ako and you go, hey boy, come here, learn how to, come and do the potatoes with me. I don't know how to do those. Here, I'll show you, learn. And then you start to learn, you got it, and then you just start to mahi. And that mahi will take a little while and you will hone in on that mahi, on that doing, for however long you need to, until you're given the reins to lead. And as you're given the reins to lead, in time, you'll then go and say, hey, boy, come over here and learn how to do this. Or, bub, come over here, learn how to do this. And what it does is it provides a very clear cycle. And the thing is that with the loss of knowledge and the loss of connection, people have stayed stationary and aren't moving through the cycle. Because when you get to tuku and then over to ako, you then move into another cycle where you learn mahi, arahi, tuku again. And as you do that, you move to the next cycle, to the next cycle, to the next cycle. Whether that's learning how to pour tea or make tea. The average teapot should have between 10 and 12, depending on the strength of the tea and the size of the teapot. But then cleaning the toilets, setting the mattresses, all of those different things, setting the tables, which way should the knife go, which side should the spoon be, all of those different things as you're setting tables, doing all of the different way, peeling the potatoes and the carrots. All of that, what it does is it encourages a cycle. And the key point about the cycle is there must be movement. And I'll take that off for now. And when I talk about there must be movement, what's really essential with that is that when you get to delegate to someone else, you then move into another cycle. And as I said earlier, there's a blockage, and that blockage is often to do with the loss of knowledge. And with the loss of knowledge, you end up staying in your comfortable space. And especially when you've lost the language, you then don't move on. And so what's happened is there's a massive bottleneck, especially down below in the kitchen. And that bottleneck means that people don't want to go to the next stage, often shit scared. But in addition to that, people get comfortable when there's no movement in the cycle, because you're supposed to pass on and let people do things. And what I'm encouraging people to think about is that we should be, because we do really well down below to a certain point. So we teach all our babies how to set tables, how to peel the veggies, how to prepare the kai, all of that stuff. But then we won't move from the kitchen. Some might move to the warepuni to set, but other than that, don't want to move up to the top. And so what I'd encourage is, from my own experience, is better you do geez, Rania, I've just seen you and I've been thinking about climate change. But better that you move now or during the time when the people that can teach you are alive. Because from my own experience, when they're dead, you've got to work it out yourself. And there's way more, it's a way more positive experience when you've got people alive that can then guide you. In addition to that, there's all of this tuakana teina stuff. And I'm not going to comment about other tribes because kei a koutou tērā. But we've been really fortunate in our tribe where we've tended to have a Maui what's the word? We've tended to have a Maui influence in our culture as whanganui, where it's often been the youngest who will be the speaker. And it's not that the tuakana won't speak, but it's often that the youngest have become the speakers. And as they do that actually originates from the whole idea where the tuakana stayed at home to look after the family, and it was the teina's role to go out to seek opportunity as an emissary and then bring those opportunities home. And so we've always had, not just in recent times, but throughout the generations, there have been classic examples of our people where the teina, male or female, have been able to do things. So I just thought I'd do a quick session on succession, because if we don't do it right now, but more importantly, look at what we do right. Because the dining room, it starts off perfect. And then we get that bottleneck. And what we're doing at the moment is in our tribal entities, is we're getting bottlenecks as well. And a lot of that is because people are too busy focused in on getting the meeting fee and or getting the mana. And this whole emphasis on mana whenua, I get sick of it, because the way mana whenua is applied today is a legal Western construct, in my opinion, where it's all about the lawyers saying, well, arguing through treaty settlement that you now have mana whenua. Well, I thought the whenua had the mana. And as tangata, we care for it, and in caring it, we are then the voice of that mana, but we aren't the mana whenua. But hey, that's another debate. But if we're not careful, we're going to have issues with both our, not only from moving from the dining room or from the mahi te hāpai to the front, but we're then also going to have the same issues, or we already are having the same issues in our land trusts and our incorporations and our iwi, and then whatever else we do. So we've got to create gaps. And so I've deliberately stepped down from some things. Haven't stepped down from enough, probably. But I've deliberately stepped down from some things to ensure that others can then carry or others can then fill. And when they need help, I just go back in and help. Or if they need a grumpy bum, then I'll go in and be the grump. But I'm just sharing this because if we go back to the original graphic, you should learn something, go, hey, come here, come and do this. And then you hone in on that and you become really good at that and you get well known for your mahi. And then you get given the apron and go, yep, you're leading this now. And you lead it for a while, so much so until you've then witnessed, okay, that next person's going to take over. And so you delegate to them. And so I just wanted to show you this cycle because it's a cycle and we've just got to continue to pass it on. Otherwise, we aren't helping ourselves. One of the problems, though, is that people then go, oh, there must be a raru why they have left. No. It's called succession. And better to pass on roles to others when you're in a good space rather than if you die or if there's a big raru ka tutu te pue'u and all of that stuff. So ka tia ke te iwi, a bit of an ad-lib tonight. And now that I know how to use the stuff, I might share a few more other things online. Ka tia ke me I kaua tuana I roto I tēnei pō. Might share some stuff on puanga in the next week or two to support all of the amazing work that's been done for Matariki. So ka tia ke me I kaua tuana tēnā koutou kia wakaere ake ki te tā nui arangi nui a tāne tūnei. Turuturu o iti waka maua kia tīna, uie, tāiki e. Ko mārire.